Alright, so right now I'm actually putting my packages together to send off to these influencers I mentioned a couple vlogs ago, and I mean it's been a slightly challenging day, which I want to talk about. Hey, what's up guys? Alright, so recently, because I'm trying to do my vlog a bit differently. So recently, there's so much energy I've been putting into everything I'm doing. I've like built a website, doing some pre-promotion for the clothing, developing a campaign to reach out to these influencers. I've been doing photo shoots and music videos, and also trying to strategize for the future. So my mind is really occupied. And anybody who's been like, trying to create something, a business, a brand, knows that like you basically have to be kind of obsessed with what you're doing. So time is very important, and the things you put your time and attention on also become equivalently important, right? So recently I was like hanging out with this girl, for like a few days, but it was amazing, right? It was like a nice little vibe and so on, and everything kind of fizzled, and then it started like really affecting me. And this is what I don't like. You see, like, I think the balance with creativity and just kind of trying to handle your life and just all the things that come with it is that creatives tend to be people who like are very good at beating themselves up. If you feel like your artwork isn't good, or your writing isn't good, or your filmmaking isn't good, or you just start feeling like you're not a good person because you're so emotionally connected to what you're doing, right? And this is something like most people have had to learn how to deal with, like, because you're so tethered to what you do. But in this book called The War of Art, Steven Pressfield, he says, when you go pro, it's like you go from being an amateur to dealing with things in a more professional manner. So what happens is you kind of disassociate from just a full raw emotional connection to what you're doing and start to deal with it more like a business. But inevitably there are challenges in feeling worthy when you're going after anything. And I think anytime I'm in these situations where I'm spending so much time and energy on trying to make my life change, trying to make my brand grow and grow my YouTube channel, and then somebody kind of pops up and there's like this light for like a little bit and it just kind of goes away, it can make you feel like you are actually worthless. But I found this isn't true. And here's why I think that is. The idea of being valuable as a person or valuable to someone else is relative to the perception of many things in that situation, and sometimes when you're holding on to the old idea of yourself, or you're so pressured by the reality you're trying to create, some things may kind of gain unusual levels of importance. But then if it all falls apart, you start feeling bad. My friend said a really awesome quote. He just called me and I have to read it, my friend Antoine, and he said, when you open your arms to accept abundance, you drop the things you're clutching. And I was like, what? Why that's so powerful for what I'm kind of thinking about right now is because when you're clutching on to that old sense of yourself, or regrets, or pain, or maybe you met somebody and in the short term it was awesome and then it kind of vanished or whatever, and you're clutching on to the idea of what could have been, or you're clutching on to the memories of what happened, was it something I said, what's going on, blah de blah de blah. You're clutching onto it. But when you want to live a really abundant life, you need to open your arms to accept that. I thought I was like in the process of gaining abundance, but then I found myself clutching on to a lot of negative feelings. But when you open your arms to accept abundance, everything you're clutching on drops. Mic drop. So basically my mission right now is just abundance. I'm doing my best to stay positive just in general. I wasn't derailed by this completely, but I was challenged because there's so much energy, like I said, that goes into like doing all this stuff, shooting the photos, editing the photos, the whole Instagram, Facebook mess of it's just like 18 hours a day, man. And sometimes it's just really good to meet somebody, have some company, break the loneliness for a bit. But then when that goes away, you're just like, oh God, like, what am I doing wrong with my life? Like I don't have my business working yet, these relationships are kind of weird, but it's all in its time, what I'm saying? So just wanted to kind of say that because, like when we're going after things, we always have these bumps in the road, and I find with YouTube and Instagram, there's like this illusory effect that can come from just like seeing just what people want to show, but you don't see what's happening with them. So people don't see me working 18 hours a day, you know, half awake, you know, the next day, or, you know, so tired that I can barely think. So you can imagine, like, you know, you're working like the last 6-7 months on some projects, you know what I'm saying, like I was working on my website, working on my photography, working on my mind, you know, and then you meet somebody who's interesting. It's like it just echoes in the canyons of your body, like, oh my god, someone is here, this is awesome, you know. But then, yeah, if it fizzles now, it can have the opposite effect, where that canyon now becomes all you see. We're just like, oh my god, I'm falling into the abyss again, you know. But at the end of the day, you know, gotta keep it going, and I'm curious to see what's gonna happen. So today basically is just finishing up this thing, to finish up this package to send off, and I'm gonna keep it going. Gonna keep vlogging and update you on more stuff. Couple cool things are being lined up for the near future. I have some new projects I'm kind of starting, and I'm going to be documenting them, but still trying to figure out the process, so bear with me. All right, boom.